Goodbye, Christopher. I really need a shave. Goodbye, Christopher Robin is directed by Simon Curtis and it stars Domhnall Gleeson, Margot Robbie and Kelly MacDonald. This biographical film focuses on author A. A. Milne as he finds inspiration for his Winnie-the-Pooh stories, and it also explores how this creation affects his young son, Christopher Robin Milne. The scenes between Domhnall Gleeson and his kid in the film, I would say they're the best parts. You can really see how the kid helps him with his PTSD and how he really unlocks his imagination, especially in the snow scene. That was probably my favourite part of this film, just because of the way it was edited. Actually, now that I think about it, the editing was a really good part of this film. It helped you really understand his PTSD, like there was a balloon that would pop and then he would think it's a gunshot, or the bees would be buzzing and then he'd think he's in a battleground again. It was a really nice touch. If I'm honest, and I mean this as a compliment, there are quite a few things in this film that are just below Oscar material. Like the acting, cinematography, score. It's all really solid, but there's just something missing for each thing that just knocks it below that level, but it's still really good. Like for instance, the performances from most of the cast is really good, but the thing I think that stops it from being Oscar material is really just because of the characters they're playing. It might have been a little bit of the writing. Like for instance, all the main characters in this film, the family, the Milne family, they're all kind of estranged to one another. I'd say that's the best way to describe it, but that makes it quite hard to connect to any of them. I don't know if it was like that in real life as well. I'm pretty sure it was, so I have to commend the film for sticking with that. But it's just because of that, you can't really ever connect to the characters, and they're just one note kind of throughout, or not, they're not one note, but it's just like they're just on repeat for the entire thing. Like you could just take a scene from the movie, place it out of context, take another scene from the movie, place that out of context, and it's kind of just the same things the characters are doing over and over and over again. Like Domhnall Gleeson is suffering from PTSD, he's struggling to write, he sees his kid, he plays with his kid unlocks his imagination, and then he uses that information for the story and kind of neglects his kid again, and then he realizes the error of his ways, and then it's just that over and over again. Again, I'm not saying that's a very bad thing. It might sound like I am, but I'm not. It works. But I'm just saying that's what makes it go from this level to this level. Now this part I was expecting, because that's often quite a big thing about biographical films. There's gonna be a time jump at some time because they're trying to show the whole broader picture here. So when you expect it, it's really a question of, are they going to do it well or are they going to do it badly? Unfortunately, I felt they did it quite badly. Something about it felt quite distracting and out of place, and I think it was because of the dialogue that was used during the transition. The kid meets some bullies who start saying some line, I forget what that line was, but they push him down the stairs, and then it's just a montage of him continually getting pushed down the stairs and then doing that rhyme as they grow up and get older. But the issue I found is that the rhyme never changes, so they start off when I'd say they're about 6 years old, 7 years old, but then they keep saying it as the montage goes on, even when they're older, so that doesn't really make sense to me, because a 5-year-old doesn't really say the same thing, say a 14, 15-year-old would say, and vice versa. You would think their dialogue would develop, but no, it kind of feels kind of dumbed down. It just made it really unrealistic. And after the time jump, I would say this is my biggest issue with this film, is when the kid's older. Something about it did not work. It just sounded really fake every line he was saying. Just listening to him say the words, it felt like he was reading a script. This is a very slow moving film, but that's probably not much of a surprise considering it's about a man writing a children's book. It doesn't exactly scream Die Hard now, does it? I think it would have helped had they sped up the beginning a bit and also had like 20 minutes less, because I think it was just shy of 2 hours, so it is quite a long and drawn out film. And lastly, I would say that I don't think they do a really good job of showing what the book he is writing, what it's about. So if you hadn't read or seen any of them, I would say you would really struggle to follow that aspect of the story, because it is quite small references to some of the things. Some are quite in your face, especially when he's coming up with the names for all the characters, that's really in your face, but then there's more subtle ones, like when they're always at the bridge and they're tossing twigs down into the river and then they run across the bridge to see who's came out first. That was in, I think, the TV show and the book and one of the films, but they never explicitly say that's in the book. It was quite interesting that you never actually see him doing that much writing, because the trailers and the marketing campaign really makes it out to be like it's a behind the scenes of the creation of the book, where, to be fair, it does do that, but the focus here is really on the kid Christopher Robin Milne and how Winnie-the-Pooh affected his life. It is a well-made film, so I wouldn't tell people don't go see this. If you want to go see this, you could spend your money on so much worse. But it definitely lacks rewatchability. I would never watch this again. I would give Goodbye Christopher Robin a 6 out of 10. For some people, learning about this family in this film could potentially ruin Winnie the Pooh for them. Not all, but I can definitely see how for some people it will, because it is quite depressing at times. I'm not really too sure who I would recommend this to. I would say go watch the trailer. If you like it, you'll probably enjoy it, and if you don't, well, you won't. Hey, that rhymed. So are you planning to see Goodbye Christopher Robin, or have you already seen it? What were your thoughts on it? Why not write them down in the comments below? Let's have a discussion. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, why not hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so you can see the next movie review that I put online. Until next time, see ya.